My perfect wife cheated on me with my brother, and even our child is not mine. Worst part, my parents supported this. I never imagined that one day my entire world, my marriage, my family, my sense of trust would collapse in a single moment. You know how people always say, you never really know someone until they show you who they are? Well, I learned that the hard way. For years, I believed I was living the dream. A beautiful wife, a healthy little boy, a good job, a supportive family. Everyone around us used to say we were the perfect couple, the kind of couple that made others jealous. My parents adored her, my friends thought I had hit the jackpot, and I used to look at her and think, yeah, this is what happiness feels like. But what I didn't know was that the two people I loved the most were slowly stabbing me in the back. My wife, the woman I trusted more than anyone, and my own brother, the person I grew up with, shared a childhood with, and would have died for. They didn't just betray me. They destroyed everything I built. And the worst part? When the truth finally came out, my parents, the very people who raised me, the ones who should have had my back, took their side. I met my wife, Hannah, when I was 26. She was 2 years younger than me, smart, charming, and had that kind of gentle personality that made everyone instantly like her. We met through a mutual friend at a wedding. I still remember the first time I saw her, wearing this light blue dress, laughing at something one of her friends said. There was something so effortless about her. We started talking that night, and everything just clicked. I wasn't the type to fall fast, but with her, it felt different. We talked for hours, and by the end of the night, I was already planning to ask her out again. Our relationship moved fast. Dinners, weekend trips, meeting each other's families. She got along perfectly with my parents. My mom especially adored her. I was the older son, the responsible one, and my parents always wanted me to settle down with someone good. Hannah seemed to fit that picture exactly. My younger brother, Ethan, was a bit of the opposite. He was the charming one, always making people laugh, always surrounded by friends. But he never took life too seriously. He changed jobs every few months, dated a new girl every other week, and constantly borrowed money from me or our parents. Still, I loved him. He was my brother. No matter how reckless he was, I always had his back. When I brought Hannah home for the first time, Ethan joked about how lucky I was. He called her too good for you, bro, and laughed, and we all laughed with him. Back then, I thought it was harmless. If only I had known how far that joke would go. A year later, Hannah and I got married. It was a simple ceremony. Close friends, family, and a lot of love. Those first couple of years were the best of my life. She supported me when I got promoted. She made our small apartment feel like a home, and she was my biggest cheerleader. I remember coming home from work and seeing her cooking, humming some random tune, and thinking, God, I'm the luckiest man alive. When she got pregnant, I cried. It felt like everything was finally falling into place. We had a beautiful baby boy, Lucas. He had Hannah's smile in my eyes, or at least that's what I thought at the time. Everything seemed perfect on the outside, but slowly, things began to change. It started small. Hannah became distant. She started going to visit her mom more often. She was always tired, always distracted. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and see her texting someone. When I asked who it was, she'd say a friend from work or someone from my mom's church group. And me? I trusted her. I didn't want to be the paranoid husband. She had never given me a reason to doubt her before. Then Ethan started showing up at our house more often. At first, it made sense. He was between jobs again, and my parents asked me to keep him company. So, I let him crash in our guest room. He and Hannah seemed to get along well, maybe too well. They'd joke around, cook together, and sometimes I'd come home and find them watching movies while Lucas played nearby. Again, I didn't think much of it. Why would I? He was my brother, and she was my wife. The two people I trusted most in the world. But soon, something started to feel off. There were moments, quiet, fleeting moments, where I'd walk into the room and feel the atmosphere shift. They'd stop talking, or suddenly, she'd find a reason to leave. One day, I remember hearing them laugh together from the kitchen. I smiled and went to join them. But when I stepped in, they both went silent. Ethan looked at me and said, "Hey bro, I was just telling Hannah about that old road trip we took." But Hannah wasn't looking at me. She was staring at the floor. I told myself I was overthinking it, that maybe I was just stressed. But deep down, something in my gut told me that something wasn't right. The truth started to unravel slowly, like a thread being pulled from a sweater. At first, I brushed things off. I had always believed that trust was the foundation of a good marriage, and Hannah had never given me a reason to doubt her before. But small things started to pile up, little inconsistencies that I couldn't ignore anymore. It began one evening when I came home early from work. Hannah wasn't expecting me. I had told her I'd be home late because of a meeting, but it got canceled. When I opened the door, I heard voices from the living room. Laughter, whispers, and then silence. I called out, "Hannah." A moment later, she appeared from the hallway, flushed and startled. "Oh, you're home early," she said quickly, tucking a strand of hair behind her ear. "Yeah, meeting got canceled. Who were you talking to?" She froze for a second too long before replying, "Just my mom on the phone." I nodded, but something in her tone felt off. The air in the house felt heavier. While I walked in the living room, I saw 2 glasses on the coffee table, both half full. I looked at her and said, "Your mom came over for a drink too?" She smiled awkwardly and said, "Oh no, that's from earlier when Ethan stopped by." Right, Ethan, my brother. I didn't question it further at that moment. But that night, when I went to bed, I couldn't sleep. My mind replayed every small thing that hadn't added up over the past few months. The way she'd text in secret, how Ethan suddenly had a new job in town, and how she always seemed overly nervous whenever I mentioned him. A few days later, my suspicions grew. Hannah had gone to see her mom again. Normally, I wouldn't question it, but that day, I called her mother to ask if Hannah was still there. Her mom sounded confused. "Oh, honey, Hannah hasn't been here for weeks. Is everything okay?" My chest tightened. I forced a laugh and said, "Yeah, everything's fine. Must have mixed up the days." I hung up the phone and sat there in silence for a long time. Something inside me broke that day. That weekend, I decided to take a day off and stay home without telling her. I wanted to see what she would do when she thought I wasn't around. She left the house around noon, saying she was going shopping. I waited 10 minutes, then followed her. I parked a few blocks behind her and kept my distance. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it. I wasn't sure what I expected, maybe to see her meeting a friend or grabbing coffee. Anything but what I actually saw. She drove to a small motel on the outskirts of town. Not a hotel, a motel. The kind you pay cash for, where no one asks questions. I parked a distance away and watched her get out of the car. My entire body went cold when I saw Ethan's car pull up next to hers. He got out, smiled at her, and kissed her right there in the open. I felt my knees weaken. It was like my entire world shattered in that one instant. My wife, my brother. I didn't confront them right away. I couldn't. I sat in my car for almost an hour, shaking, crying, trying to breathe. The anger inside me was unlike anything I'd ever felt. When she got home that evening, she acted like nothing had happened. She smiled, kissed me on the cheek, and asked how my day was. I just stared at her, at the woman I had loved, trusted, built my life with, and felt nothing but disgust. The next few days were a blur. I barely spoke to her. Every time she tried to talk, I'd find an excuse to leave the room. I didn't tell her what I saw. Not yet. I needed to be sure. So, I did something I never thought I'd do. I checked her phone. Late one night, while she was asleep, I unlocked it using her fingerprint and scrolled through her messages. Most of her chats were clean, deleted, but she forgot about the hidden photo folder in her gallery. There was dozens of pictures, some of her, some of him, selfies, kisses, photos in the same motel room. I had seen them enter. One photo nearly made me throw the phone across the room. Ethan lying shirtless in bed and her hand resting on his chest. I felt sick. That night, I didn't sleep. I stayed up staring at the ceiling, wondering how everything went so wrong. My brother, my own flesh and blood. The next morning, I decided to confront them both, but not before I got everything I needed. I copied every picture, every message, every call log onto my phone and my laptop. I wanted proof, not just for myself, but because I knew if I told anyone, especially my parents, they wouldn't believe me. They had always favored Ethan, always excused his behavior. He's just finding himself, they'd say. Be patient with him. but I was done being patient. The next weekend, I invited my parents, Ethan and Hannah, over for dinner. It was time to end the lie. I set up everything. The laptop on the table, the pictures queued up, my emotions buried under a calm mask. When everyone arrived, I pretended to be my usual self. We ate dinner, made small talk, and when we were done, I said, "There's something I need to show everyone." I opened the laptop. The room went silent. The first picture came up, Hannah and Ethan holding hands in the motel parking lot. My mom gasped. My dad frowned in confusion. Ethan froze, and Hannah turned pale. I didn't say a word. I just clicked through the pictures one by one, the selfies, the hotel room shots, the texts. When it was over, I looked at them and said quietly, "You two disgust me." No one spoke for a long time. Then, my mom said something I will never forget. "Honey, maybe it's not what it looks like." I laughed. Actually laughed. "Not what it looks like. He's my brother, Mom. She's my wife." My father just sighed and shook his head. "You don't understand, son. Ethan's been through a lot. Maybe this was a mistake." A mistake. That's what they called it. And Hannah? She started crying. "It just happened, okay? I didn't mean for it to go this far. I love you, but Ethan was just there when you weren't." Those words cut deeper than any knife ever could. I got up, looked her dead in the eyes, and said, "You and my brother deserve each other. Get out of my house." After that night, everything fell apart. Hannah left the house with tears in her eyes, and Ethan followed a few hours later after my parents begged me not to ruin the family. Ruin the family? I remember laughing through my tears that night, the kind of laugh that comes when you're too broken to even cry properly anymore. For the first time in years, the house was quiet. No sounds of my son's laughter echoing through the hallway. No smell of Hannah's perfume lingering in the air. Just silence, cold, heavy silence. I sat there in the dark, staring at our wedding photo on the wall. Her smile, my arm around her waist. A perfect moment frozen in time, a lie carved into memory. A few days later, Hannah called me. Her voice was trembling. "We need to talk." I didn't want to see her again, but she begged. She said it was about our son, Noah. So we met at a cafe downtown. She looked worn out, eyes swollen, hair messy, face pale. For a second, I almost pitied her. Then I remembered what she'd done. She started talking before I could even say a word. "I know you'll never forgive me, and I don't expect you to, but there's something I need to tell you." I leaned back in my chair. "Go ahead." Tears started rolling down her cheeks. "When I told you I was pregnant, I wasn't sure if it was yours." Those words hit me like a sledgehammer. I just sat there, staring at her, trying to process what she said. What are you saying, Hannah?" She sniffled. "It could have been Ethan's." My chest tightened. My stomach turned. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. I had loved that kid more than anything in this world. He was the only thing that kept me going when work got hard, when life got heavy. He called me Dad with a smile that melted my heart every single time. And now this woman, my wife, was telling me he might not even be mine. I didn't shout. I didn't curse. I just looked at her and said, "We'll get a DNA test." She nodded, crying harder now. "I understand." I left without another word. The next few days were hell. I tried to act normal around Noah, but every time I looked at him, I saw Ethan's face, the same brown eyes, the same crooked smile. I hated myself for even thinking it, but deep down, I knew. We took the test the following week. The doctor said it would take about 10 days to get the results. Those 10 days were the longest of my life. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I spent most nights sitting in the living room, staring at the wall, wondering how everything had gone so wrong. My parents kept calling me, telling me to be mature and not drag the family name through the mud. But how could they defend him? Their golden boy who had destroyed my marriage, my home, and maybe even my relationship with my son? When the results finally came in, I went to the clinic alone. My hand was shaking as the doctor handed me the envelope. I didn't open it right away. I sat in my car for almost 30 minutes, staring at it. My mind raced through every memory. Noah's first steps, his first words, the nights I stayed up rocking him to sleep, the mornings he jumped on my bed laughing. Finally, I opened the envelope. Probability of paternity, 0%. The world around me went silent. I don't even remember how long I sat there. My heart felt like it had stopped beating. He wasn't mine. The boy I had loved, raised, and protected wasn't mine. I went home that night and just sat in the dark. I couldn't bring myself to call Hannah. I couldn't even cry. I just felt empty. The next morning, my mom showed up at my door. She walked in without knocking, holding a bag of food like everything was normal. When she saw the look on my face, she sighed. "You got the results, didn't you?" I nodded. She put the food down and said softly, "Son, listen, what's done is done. Noah's still your boy. You raised him." I looked at her, disbelief filling my voice. "He's not my boy, Mom. He's Ethan's, your other son's. Don't you get that?" She frowned, her tone firm. "Family is family, no matter what. Don't throw away everything because of one mistake." One mistake. Again, that's all they ever called it. "Get out," I said quietly. She stared at me. "What? Get out." She tried to reason with me, but I didn't listen. I stood up, pointed at the door, and watched her leave. That was the last time I saw my parents for months. Hannah tried to reach out several times. Calls, texts, emails, all ignored. I couldn't talk to her anymore. The betrayal was too deep. But one night, she showed up at my door, crying and begging to talk. I should have slammed the door shut, but part of me needed answers. She sobbed as she spoke. "I'm so sorry, James. I never meant for any of this to happen. I love you. I made a mistake, but please don't hate Noah. He's innocent." I looked at her and said coldly, "You don't get to talk about innocence. You destroyed everything." She fell to her knees, crying uncontrollably. "Please, James, please. I'll do anything to fix this." I took a deep breath, stepped back, and said, "Then sign the divorce papers." Her face fell. "James, no. Sign them, Hannah, because after this, I never want to see you or Ethan again." And I walked away. After Hannah signed the papers, everything became strangely quiet. No more arguments. No more crying. Just silence. But it wasn't peaceful. It was the kind of silence that follows destruction. I'd lost my wife, my son, and my family's respect, or rather, their illusion of respect. But in that emptiness, something inside me shifted. I wasn't going to be the broken man they pitted. I was going to make sure every single person who destroyed my life paid for it. In full. My revenge didn't start with anger. It started with planning. I wanted them to feel the same humiliation and betrayal that I'd lived through. Ethan had always relied on me financially. I was the one who'd helped him land his first job, co-signed his car loan, and even paid for his apartment deposit. But he forgot that every one of those things had my name on them, my control. So one by one, I took it all back. I called his boss, a man I'd worked with on a few business deals before, and sent him every screenshot and photo of Ethan and Hannah together, with a little note saying, "Thought you should know what your employee's been doing during work trips." Ethan lost his job 2 weeks later. Then I pulled the plug on his apartment lease. It was under my name. I notified the landlord I'd be terminating the agreement. He had 30 days to move out. When he called me in a rage, I answered calmly, "You should have thought about consequences before you betrayed me," I said. He cursed, screamed, threatened me, but I just hung up. Hannah didn't fare much better. Our divorce went through smoothly because I had evidence, proof of adultery. I made sure she walked away with nothing. No alimony, no share in the house, no claim on my assets. Everything we built together gone. And as for Noah, she got full custody. I didn't fight it. That was her punishment. She had to live every day looking at the reminder of her betrayal. But I didn't stop there. Before the divorce was finalized, I reached out to her employer, the same company where she and Ethan used to work. I didn't tell them much, just shared that she had an inappropriate relationship with another employee during her engagement, a company event, violating workplace policy. A week later, she was called in for questioning. 2 weeks after that, she was fired. I didn't celebrate. I didn't smile. I didn't even feel satisfaction. I just felt nothing. But for the first time in months, I could breathe. My parents found out soon after. They came to my house again, furious. My mom screamed at me, "How could you ruin your brother's life like this?" My dad added, "You've taken it too far." I just stared at them. "No, you let it go too far. You defended them. You chose them." And for the first time in my life, I saw my father speechless. I walked to the door, opened it, and said, "You're not welcome here anymore." That was the moment I truly became free. Months passed. The bitterness faded slowly, replaced by quiet acceptance. I sold the house. Too many memories haunted its walls, and moved to another city. I changed jobs, started going to the gym again, and cut off all contact with everyone tied to my past life. It wasn't easy. Some nights, I still thought about Noah, about the bedtime stories, the drawings he made for me, the little "I love you, Dad" notes he left on my desk. But I reminded myself that sometimes healing means letting go of even the things that once brought joy. One night, while sitting on my apartment balcony, I looked up at the sky and whispered, "You didn't break me, Hannah. You made me stronger." It's been a year since the divorce. I've built a new life, new job, new apartment, even started dating again. And this time, I've learned what true peace feels like. Not the fake kind built on lies and pretense, but real, quiet strength. I still hear from friends back home sometimes. Apparently, Ethan's been struggling. No stable job, heavy drinking, and rumors that Hannah left him too. I don't know if that's true, and honestly, I don't care. Because revenge isn't about destruction. It's about closure. And I found mine. One evening, as I packed some boxes to move again, this time to a new state for a better job, I found something tucked in one of my old drawers. A photo of Noah, smiling in his little superhero costume. For the first time, I didn't feel anger. I smiled softly and whispered, "Be better than your parents, kid." Then I folded the picture, placed it in a book, and walked away, finally completely free. Alright guys, that's the end of this story. Opie went through hell, betrayal from his wife, his own brother, and even his parents turning their backs on him. But in the end, he didn't just survive it. He rebuilt himself and came out stronger than ever. If you enjoyed this one, make sure to subscribe to Reddit Cheating Stories for more crazy stories like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.